Good evening to all of you. My name is Jamel Tony.
Hey everyone, I'm Lakeisha, and welcome to Progressively Becoming.
Good evening to all of you. What is happening?
Good evening. Thank you guys for joining us for another conversation. As always, make sure when you're getting on, you like, comment, and share, and let somebody know PB is on now. We are in the building, and every Tuesday right here at 7 p.m.
That's it. Welcome to all of you Facebook listeners, to all of the Facebook community, to all of the you are listening on our YouTube channel. Good evening to all of you, to all of the podcasters that will be listening to this shortly after we are not live. Apple Music, Apple, Google, Spotify, and as we introduced last week, welcome to our iHeart. I have something in my throat at the moment, but no, I'm all right. Welcome to our iHeart Radio community. Welcome to all of you. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, go ahead and do that right after this conversation is over. Go ahead and just download the Google, Spotify, the Apple, or the iHeart Radio app. Go ahead and search for us, Progressively Becoming, and you will be notified of any time we go live. You can catch us in your cars while you're working out, because you should be working out. All of us should be working out. We should be stepping at the moment. Those of you in DFOCW, step challenge is happening at the moment.
Step.
Step. Get to stepping and just listen to us while you step.
That was long.
It was lengthy.
He's trying to be me, y'all, because I usually do all of that, but he want to try to be progressive and take over.
Well, at some point, we should take on more responsibility, especially when others drop the ball so frequently.
And that's why he got something in his throat. That's exactly why I got something in. So, but anyway, thank y'all for tuning in for another conversation. Don't forget on Thursday, 6 a.m. right here, morning devotion. We will always go to prayer.
Absolutely.
So Thursday, 6 a.m. Make sure you tell someone, grab someone, tag someone, text someone, let them know that we are going to prayer. Prayer changes things. Prayer works. We believe in the power of prayer, and God listens and answers when we pray.
I absolutely love our time of devotion. And not just on Thursdays, every day of your life, you should dedicate some time to just devote and just listen and to pray. And just thank God for everything He's done for you. I'm laughing because someone recently, our son sent us a text message, and he said jets. So if you are not aware, if you are not observant to the screen, you will see that we are in our Jets fandom, because here at Progressively Becoming, not only do we believe in the power of Jesus Christ, but we believe in the power of the New York Jets.
Football.
And they won yesterday. So thanks be unto God, who has always given us the victory to triumph.
Who did they play yesterday?
Sunday. They won Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I would say that I do like the sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. However, I'm a little hot.
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot with these sweatshirts on.
It is hot.
So,
but nonetheless,
I'm representing for the husband.
Thank you.
Yes. But I'm hot, y'all.
It's hot. Morning devotions. Listen, check us out. Those of you that was on our Sunday broadcast at the Place of Exchange Worship Center, thank you all so much. For those of you that aren't aware, God has graced us and blessed us to launch a ministry every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Place of Exchange Worship Center, where we believe because of Jesus Christ, there can always and will always be an exchange that can happen in your life. Right. Catch us on all of our social media platforms. We want to see you there on Sundays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right. Keep in mind, we are having a clothing and coat giveaway on December 3rd in the city of Camden, New Jersey. God is really making provision for us as we speak. It's amazing the doors that God is opening so that we can be a blessing, a continued blessing to the city of Camden, New Jersey. We believe in outreach and we believe in displaying the love of Jesus Christ.
Right. And don't forget our monthly 15 at 6. The next one will be next Friday, September 30th. So you can check those out. Only available on our podcast. Apple, Google, Spotify, and our iHeartRadio. So if you haven't subscribed, download that so you can be a part of that motivation, inspiration, and encouragement that we will be doing once a month. So next Friday, September 30th.
Absolutely.
So we are just grateful for what God is doing for us.
So let's dive into the conversation that we have today. We're not doing a recap. If you missed us last week, go ahead and listen to what we discussed last week. But I want us to get into the conversation that we're going to have today. We are going to discuss over the next few weeks, which would lead us into our relationship series. So you do not want to miss that. Yes. But for the next few weeks, we are going to discuss an enemy to us progressively becoming. So if you haven't already hit that like or share button, go ahead, do that now. Tag a friend, tag a family member, because there's a strong possibility that they, like us, like all of us, are exhibiting and have exhibited moments of pride in our moments of pride in our lives. I want to ask you a question. What do you think of when we say the voices of pride? What comes to your mind?
Well, first, let's before we dive into that, let's just remind everyone what pride is. And pride is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievement, consciousness of one's own dignity. And pride is a social emotion.
It is, yeah.
So when I hear like the voices of pride, honestly, before we started like researching and diving into this, I didn't think of pride as a voice.
Okay.
I never thought of pride would say this or pride would say that. I thought of pride like I mentioned last week as like a trait, like that someone has.
Gotcha.
Or pride determines like your behavior and how you act. So I never thought of it as pride being a voice.
Got it. And I think when I thought about it, I thought of the voices of pride as a voice that we hear, coming from someone else. You know, so you'll hear someone say, I don't need anyone, or I don't need any help, or I don't need God, right? So when I think of the voices of pride, I think of hearing someone else be prideful in their speech. However, when we say the voices of pride, some may think it is pride speaking to us. However, for the purposes of the conversation today, we want to suggest to you that the voices of pride is what comes out of you.
Right.
Because there could be no voice if there is no person.
That's good.
Right? So when we say the voices of pride, we are saying the sounds and the voices that comes out of you.
Right.
Pride is an enemy within. Can you just put that in the comments? Pride is an enemy within us. And you cannot become better. You can't become evolved. You can't become clearer. You cannot become an overcomer. You cannot become mature. You cannot become innovative and necessary and grounded if there is an enemy within you that says, I can do this on my own.
Right. Exactly. And we've all probably been in that situation at some point in our lives where we thought or felt or even believed that we can do it. I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody. I don't need no help.
Correct.
I got this. I don't need you. We have all been there. We've all said that. We've all done it. And let's just be clear when we say voice. We mean verbal, meaning like what we say. Physical, meaning like your behaviors, how you act, how we act. Your heart, which is, your attitudes, what we believe. So that's important that we know that. And pride can grow and develop and set roots into our speech, our behaviors, and our beliefs.
And that could be extremely difficult to uproot from our lives. Because as we mentioned last week, pride is subtle. Listen to us. You will be operating in pride, and you don't even know it. And it can grow roots in your speech, what you say, in your actions, in your behavior, and even in your attitudes. Right? So many people think that pride is solely what we say. Right? No, it's what we say, it's how we act, it's what we believe. And if you don't think so, if you don't think that that's what it is, perhaps that's the very essence of pride right there.
That's good.
And because pride is a social emotion, because it is an emotion, pride influences our speech, our behaviors, and even our beliefs. And how does pride do that? Through our thoughts.
Right.
Your thoughts can become so influenced and infected with pride that your thoughts become your actions, and that all begins based on the social emotion called pride. Your emotions shape your decisions, and your decisions affect your thought patterns.
That's good.
How many of us move out of our emotions? We make decisions. How we feel shape what we do. How we feel shapes who we talk to, and
how we talk to them.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
That's it. And it stems from the depths of our thoughts. How you feel influences what you think.
Right.
And what you think influences your decisions, and your decisions play out in your speech, your behavior, and even your attitude. So how you act, what you believe, and what you say all stems from how you feel.
That's good. It's true though.
Yeah.
And if we have to like ask ourselves if pride is at the root of this, right?
Absolutely.
How many decisions have we made that's been influenced by pride?
Say it.
How many times have we made decisions that was influenced and based upon our pride?
Absolutely.
Because, let me just say this. Not only does pride say, I like to be the center of attention.
Say that.
And will say or do things to draw attention to myself. It also says, I often feel insecure. I don't want to try new things. I don't want to step out into uncomfortable situations because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to fail. I'm afraid to look stupid. I'm afraid to look foolish. And I'm easily embarrassed.
Pride. Wait. So say it again. So what does pride say?
Pride would say, I like to be the center of attention. And I would say or do things to draw attention to myself.
Okay. And I think all of us know that. All of us know that that's what pride says. However, what does pride also say?
It also says that I feel insecure. I don't want to try new things. I don't want to step out into the uncomfortable situations because I'm afraid I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to fail. I'm going to look foolish. And I am very easily to be embarrassed.
Do you see how that affects how pride affects your decision making? Not only does pride say, I want people to be impressed with me. Like I want to make known I want my accomplishments to be known to others. Right. But pride also says I am often anxious about my life and my future. I have a hard time sleeping at night because of the fearful thoughts and burdens that I carry. Have you ever identified, it is, have you ever identified your worry about life and your future? The difficult time you have resting because of the fearful thoughts and the burdens that you carry. Have you ever considered that it may be linked to pride?
Never. And I think I can answer that because I've had periods where I had a hard time sleeping because I've had like fearful thoughts or, burdens or, worrying. I mean, it was a time where when I used to close my eyes and go to sleep, it used to feel like I was sinking into a casket. Like I was dying. So it was like I had like a fear when I would go to sleep or, I would be worrying about something while I'm sleeping. So when that's happening, of course, you're asleep, but you're not resting. And when you wake up, it's just, you're still tired, you're still sleepy because my mind was just busy. And I never considered that was pride. I just considered that's just something that I need to get a handle on.
Say that again.
It was something that I needed to get a handle on.
Because pride manifests itself in so many ways. Pride doesn't just say, hey, look at me, I'm the most important person in the room. But because pride is so subtle, listen to me, it is so subtle, it manifests itself in different ways. Right. For example, one of the voices of pride is the voice of neglect and insecurity.
That's good.
Would you just put that in the comments?
That's good.
Neglect and insecurity. The voice of pride, the first voice of pride that we are going to talk about are the voices of neglect and insecurity.
And it's probably crazy because hearing that, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't, but for me, when I heard the voice of pride is neglect and insecurity, I didn't see how that tied into being proud.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm like, well, what does that got to, what does me feeling insecure or me feeling neglected has to do with me being prideful?
Yeah.
I didn't get the correlation.
Yeah. Well, so Here it is. So, have you ever asked yourself this question? What will they think of me?
We probably all been there.
Yeah. What will they think of me? I can't figure because I'm still battling it. I am currently in a struggle. And with insecurity, right? And here's where I'm insecure about. I want to do something that will drastically change the face of how I look. And I haven't because I am concerned about what others will think. And some of you got really scared just now. Like y'all got really scared, like, what is he gonna do? Like I felt a hush over social media. Like, what is he going to do? Like, oh my God, what is he going to do? Right? Right. Some of you got scared. I want to shave and cut my hair off.
Bald.
Like, I want to become bald.
Right.
And I haven't done it because I am so concerned of how others would look at me and what others think. And here it is, because I know how I look at certain people. We're all human, right? So I know how sometimes you're laughing, how I look at certain people and be like, nah, you know, they had too big for a bald head. Like, you know, they had too big to be bald. We've all said it. Don't front. We've been there, right? So I don't want that same perception of me. So I haven't done it because I'm concerned of what will they think about me.
What would they say?
Yeah.
How would I look
Correct.
to them?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, I told you to go for it.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, it's like, in a situation like that, he don't even know if he would like it.
Correct.
So, do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You don't like it, and then you go get your hair back.
Correct. Yeah. But
don't worry about what people think.
Yeah, and pride is centered. So even though one may say, oh, look at me, I'm the most grandest in the room, but one has an insecurity. Here it is. You cannot exhibit prideful behavior and there be no insecurities in your life. The truth, the fact that you have issues and you are displaying prideful behavior confirms the existence of an insecurity in your life. And many people believe that pride only rears its ugly head when someone boasts, or when someone won't admit mistakes, or when someone refuses to hear criticism. But those are indeed telltale signs of pride, but insecurity is also a form of pride as well. Insecurity stops people from moving forward. It cripples their progress and in their pursuit to authentically become themselves. You cannot authentically become yourself if you are repeatedly dealing with issues of insecurity and allowing that insecurity to stop you from progressing in life. And perhaps somebody needs to hear that. Have you allowed your insecurities to stop you from progression in life?
I think that's good because like you just mentioned, like we think of pride as when, someone know that you did wrong to someone and you won't go get that right. Or you have unforgiveness in your heart for something that maybe someone did to you. And we hold on to that thing for years, and that the pride in us is stopping us from going and releasing that. So that's what I always thought of pride to be. But I never thought of, insecurity. And that's important because insecurity can really just prevent you from doing anything in life.
Correct.
It really can. If you have this insecurity about yourself, it can prevent you from moving forward. It can prevent you from going after maybe the job that you want, or it can prevent you from moving to the forefront, that you stay in the back all the time. So insecurity has a way of just crippling and affecting your entire life. And insecurity is the feeling of inadequacy. So not being good enough. uncertainty. It produces anxiety about your goals, about the relationships that you're in.
That's it.
And
That's it.
even in the ability to handle certain situations. And if we are honest, we all had them.
Let's be honest.
Like, at some point, we may be dealing with it now, but if we be honest with each other, we all have them.
We all have insecurity.
Like, we all ain't got everything all together in every single area. And sometimes that insecurity may seep up in you for one reason or another.
And the problem is when our thoughts are backed up by our insecurities so much that they create lies that we believe in.
Oh, wow.
When what you think about yourself is backed up by your insecurity, they create a lie that even you begin to believe in.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And as you said, we all intentionally and perhaps even subconsciously deal with insecurity. For example, let's be honest. Honest moment. How many people, how many of us, how many of you, let's be honest. How many of us post on social media, right, and go back to see how many likes they got? Let's wait. Who is it? Let's look at the comment. How many of us post a picture on our vacation, or post a picture, about how we look, or post a picture about where we're going, or what we're driving, and we go back to look at how many likes they got?
Well, me personally, no shade, but I don't necessarily go back and look at how many likes, but I do go back and look at the comments.
Okay.
And it's because I'm interested, to see the response of either what I said, of what I've done. So
could it be that we are almost looking for approval from others on how we are doing in our own lives? And that's crazy, right? I'm looking for approval from you about how I'm doing in my own life. And how we are perceived by others, and even how we say in terms of expectations that people have from us.
That's true.
I look to you to see, okay, well, I'm on the right path because I got, 100 likes, or, I'm saying the right thing because I got 85 people watching me. So yeah, I gotta be saying the right thing.
Right.
And we looked at that for approval, as opposed to being confident in our own selves and in our own lives. And here it is, numbers will not define me.
Right. But that's good, and that's true, because when it's the flip side of it, when you don't have a lot of likes, or if you don't have a lot of comments,
you get discouraged.
You do get discouraged, and you feel some kind of way.
Nobody liked me. Yeah. Nobody liked the picture. Yeah. Nobody care about me. I don't have enough friends. Here it is. Nobody, listen to me, nobody has 700 plus friends. Nobody. Nobody. So I don't care what our Facebook pages say. Nobody got 700 plus friends. Nobody do. I got 5. 5. Okay? Right? So at times, it is not, as you said, it may not be the approval we are looking for, more or less, than it is how many people are interested in what I've said or what I've done.
Right.
And we naturally, we want to do well.
Right, we do.
Right. And you look for that in your likes and in your comments.
Right. It's true. It's true.
Right? Because the insecure person says this: what will they think of me? What will people say?
Yep.
What if I'm wrong and people find out? And the rebuttal to that question I must ask is this. What makes you think people are thinking about you?
I mean, that's good, because sometimes it's like we thinking about you, but y'all ain't thinking about me.
It's pride, right? Insecurity, here it is a perverse form of pride, because we assume that everyone is focused on us. right? They aren't. We are making ourselves out to be much more important than we actually are. The truth is, most people are not spending that much time thinking about other people. They have their own lives, their own concerns that occupy the majority of their time. Mm-hmm. They are not thinking about what Jamel and Lakeisha is doing.
Mm-hmm. Now, someone said they like to see, like, if what they said has encouraged somebody.
It's nothing wrong with posting and then looking back to look at the comments. The issue is when you look back for approval about what you posted or said. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Tell sign is this. Just post something, right? If you get no likes, see how you feel. Versus when you post something and you get 100 likes. See how you feel. Yeah. That'll tell you something.
But I think that's like, I don't know. I think most, and I can't say for everybody, but I think most people would feel that way.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna say, I'll say that for me. Like if I post something and like nobody comments or nobody likes it, I probably will feel some kind of way about that.
But and unfortunately, this is the construct that we grew up in, right? Avery says, but we've been constructed to evaluate ourselves based on numbers, like having to get good grades in high school. And it is. Like we have been brainwashed into this numbers game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Numbers affect what we think about ourselves and how perhaps other people perceive us.
That's true.
And here it is. You can play watch this. You can play the game as long as the game doesn't affect you. I can play the game, but I won't let the game affect me.
That's good. That's good.
And that is when maturity comes into place. Mm-hmm. Can you play the game of numbers and not allow the number game to affect me?
That's good. I like that.
And this is, I think, where fear and pride intersects and create insecurity.
That's correct.
Fear and pride intersected create insecurity. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so in those instances, I guess we think everyone is thinking about us and we're scared about what those thoughts may be.
Gotcha. Yes.
So
yes. Yeah.
And so yeah, with that, it's like we probably think that the thoughts is negative as opposed to something positive. Because if you felt like with the bald head situation, you assume that people are gonna react to you negatively.
Or negative, correct.
Why not?
Correct.
Why wouldn't they react? Correct. Why we don't have that first mind to think they're gonna react positively towards us?
That's a good point.
But we always go to the negative. Oh, what are they gonna think about me? But negatively, what they're gonna think about me? What are they gonna say about me? Which is negative. What they're gonna say about me? Nothing encouraging, nothing positive. And I think that's because.
And that's pride. What will they say about me?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like you said, not many people are spending their days just thinking about you or thinking about me.
Yeah.
But like I said, the voice of pride will say, what will they think about me?
Yeah.
And it's going to cause you to act on that and inadvertently believe it. And that's how you're going to move.
Pride is an emotion that will impact you and influence your decisions. Mm-hmm. It is our twisted pride that makes us think that people are spending as much time thinking about us as we are. And here it is. Insecurity is a habit that often starts with pride, which then creates fear. Mm-hmm. This powerful combination of pride and fear can incapacitate gifted people. Mm-hmm. Pride and insecurity, here it is, go together like chicken and waffles. Mm-hmm. They have nothing in common, and yet so often the most prideful people are filled with the most insecurity.
So,
the most prideful people are filled with the most insecurities.
Yeah, so it's like the beautiful girl, you know, the nice looking girl, the pretty girl who says on one hand, you know, thanks to God, I'm not ugly. But on the other hand, is constantly looking for somebody to affirm that they look good.
Absolutely.
So it's like a two thing.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty, thank God I'm not ugly, but I'm looking for you to tell me I'm beautiful. I'm looking for you to tell me that, you know, I'm attractive. And it's like the bodybuilder who can post pictures of themselves in the gym, but can't stop working out because the fear that someone that's going to tell them that they don't look ripped.
Absolutely.
That you don't look buff.
It's like the preacher who can see God grow his church and still can't sleep at night because nobody complimented his sermon.
And in marriages, it's the marriage that is straight awful.
Awful.
Like, terrible. In the words of my grandmother, terrible.
Terrible.
But their pride and insecurity won't let them seek out help. Because then someone will know that you ain't got it all together.
Please say that again.
Someone gonna know that your marriage ain't like it looks. So instead of admitting that we need help, we got an issue, we need somebody to come in and help us, pride and insecurity won't allow you to do that.
Because pride will say, I can't have others begin to look at me differently. And a lot of people, here it is, a lot of people think that the answer to insecurity is confidence. It is not. Confidence is not the answer to insecurity. Confidence can lead to pride because confidence is built on your own efforts. When you succeed, it builds confidence, but when you fail, it builds insecurity. The answer to insecurity and pride is humility.
Wow, that's good.
Not confidence.
And humility is not thinking like less about yourself. It's just thinking about yourself less.
Say it again. I love it. I love it.
So humility is not thinking less about you.
I love it.
It's just not thinking about yourself also.
Correct. Humility is thinking about others, right? It is the great equalizer, to my boy Denzel. It defeats pride and insecurity. We got to go, but there are 3 types of insecurity that can produce the void of pride in your life. 3 types, and we got to go. We got like 4 minutes left, right? The first type of insecurity is personal insecurity. Could you just put that in the comments? Personal insecurity. Personal insecurities are about how you look or sound and how others perceive you. These are surface level insecurities that can be superficial to someone observing from the outside. When you are worried about your hair, your clothing, or perhaps some unwelcome, blemish. For example, this beautiful queen right here. We can go out and she may have a spot or a nick or some seemingly unnoticeable blemish in her clothes. And because she sees it, she thinks that everybody else sees it as well. And then she'll say to me, well, I can't wear this because, if I can say other people can say, no, nobody is looking that hard at the upper left crease of the backside of your shoulder. Nobody is looking that hard. But because she sees a defect, we assume that others can see the defect as well.
I'm laughing, y'all, but that statement is really true about me. Like, I'll get something on my clothes and it's like it bothers me.
Absolutely.
And it's just I can't focus sometimes and
Correct.
pay attention because I'm focused on the spot or the odorant stain that got in the shirt as I was putting it on, or maybe the oil that got on from my body. Yeah, I be going through it.
And there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, I messed this up, or, you know, I just want to, you know, fix this or whatever. But when it stops you, here it is, when it stops you, when insecurities stop you from pursuing relationships, career opportunities, and even social connections, that's when it becomes dangerous.
Right.
Pride, listen to me, judges itself.
Right.
When you are condemning yourself, that is pride. Self-condemnation is pride in effect.
Wow.
And most people don't look at pride as eternal. Nobody looks at self-condemnation as pride. Here it is, because self-condemnation is when pride judges himself. Pride says, I am the only one capable of judging me. A self-condemning person makes himself the judge and seizes the authority from God and gives it to himself.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, that's good. Wow.
So if you ever operate in self-condemnation, you are operating in pride.
Wow. That's good. Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
Personal insecurity.
Personal insecurity. The next one, and we know we gotta go because we trying to do better on time.
Trying to do better on time. Yeah, we are.
It's professional insecurity.
Yes.
Professional insecurities happen at our workplace and make people anxious and self-conscious to give presentations or speak up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And these insecurities can also fill people with self-doubt and cause them to believe that they aren't good enough for promotions or taking risks.
That's good.
It leads people to experience imposter syndrome.
The imposter syndrome.
That is good. And miss out on achieving their goals.
The imposter syndrome is when you attempt to be somebody else.
That's good.
Because you feel you aren't good enough.
Oh, wow. That's good. It's amazing how many people probably operating like that.
Yeah. And they think, oh, I'm not trying to be like you. No. Here it is. What we said earlier, in speech, in behavior, and in attitudes, the way we think. We got to go. Next week, we're going to pick up on the last insecurity, which is relationship insecurity, right? And then we'll touch on some tips on how to overcome the voice of pride called insecurity and neglect. We didn't even touch neglect. Neglect is a whole other animal by itself, because you'll be surprised how many people experience neglect as children that leads to the insecurities they have today
as adults
and mask it with pride.
Wow. That's gonna be good.
Your pride tells me of an insecurity that perhaps may have been the result of neglect that you experienced when you was a child. Emotional neglect.
Get into the root.
We got to get to the root.
All things go back to the root of things.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
definitely.
This is good.
Yeah.
So what we touched on today, personal insecurity and professional. Next week we'll touch on relationship insecurity, as Jamel said.
And neglect.
The
voice of pride. Yeah. That's good.
So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for another conversation. We will see you right here Thursday, 6 a.m. and meet us Sunday at 9 a.m. for the Place of Exchange Worship Center service. We love you and you have a great night.
Good night, all.
Take care.
Everybody trying to be like Mike.